Hi everyone. This webinar will walk you through the process of upgrading the PMDF messaging server on a Linux system. We're going to upgrade to PMDF version 6.6 from PMDF version 6.5 for our demo, but the process is essentially the same for any version of PMDF. Upgrading PMDF on Linux is a quick and easy process that usually requires less than 15 minutes to perform. You should be able to successfully upgrade PMDF on your system by following along with this video. Just pause it between steps. As a licensed customer, you're automatically mailed a distribution package when a new version of PMDF is released. The package contains the PMDF CD-ROM and a welcome letter outlining the major new features in the updated version. If you don't have or can't find your PMDF CD-ROM, contact your Process Software sales representative or email sales@process.com. They can provide you with links to download the latest version of PMDF, as well as mail you a physical CD-ROM containing the software. PMDF is distributed on a CD-ROM that contains the installation kits for every supported platform. The PMDF for Linux kit contains the base PMDF MTA product, as well as the layered PMDF DirSync, PMDF TLS, PMDF Message Store, PMDF Pop Store, and PMDF LAN products. Insert the PMDF CD-ROM into a CD-ROM drive that your Linux system can access. Log into the system as an administrator and mount the CD-ROM. The mounting procedure may vary a bit depending on your particular flavor of Linux, but in general you want to mount the CD-ROM block device to a sensible mount point on your file system. Assuming you're running Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and you've already created an empty /CD-ROM directory as a mount point, run the mount command. A quick note if you're upgrading from PMDF 6.4 or earlier, the format of the database files used by PMDF changed with the release of PMDF 6.5. There's a database upgrade script that will run as part of the post-installation task that will automatically find and upgrade most PMDF databases, like the aliases database. If you're upgrading from PMDF 6.4 or earlier, and something suddenly starts acting wonky after the upgrade, the most likely cause is a database in a non-standard location that wasn't upgraded. All you need to do is run the PMDF convertdb command against the database, and then restart PMDF to resolve the problem. If you've let your users log into the system running PMDF and create their own forwarding databases in their login directories, somebody, probably you as a system administrator, needs to run the PMDF convertdb command against them as well. Unless you're 100% absolutely sure that you haven't made any changes to your PMDF tailor file, make a copy of it. The PMDF installation process will override it, whether you've made any changes or not. Copy the PMDF tailor file, located at etc pmdf_tailor, to etc pmdf_tailor.rig. When we're done with the upgrade, we'll merge any changes from the old PMDF tailor file into the new PMDF tailor file. Now, you need to check your licenses to make sure they're current. On Linux, the PMDF license files are located in the PMDF table directory. Each license file is named following the pattern of product name-platform.license. For example, the license file for the base MTA would be pmdf-mta-linux.license. The license files are plain text files that contain authorization information and a checksum. This is an example of what a license file should look like. You should have a separate license file for each PMDF product you plan to use on the system. Make sure that the product release date field inside the license is later than the release date of the upgraded version of PMDF you're installing. The release date for the PMDF version you're installing is printed on the label of the CD-ROM, as well as on the first page of all the documentation and the release notes. In essence, your PMDF licenses let you run any version of PMDF released before the license release date. You'll automatically get new PMDF licenses with updated release dates whenever you renew your support contract. If you've misplaced your license updates or need updated license information in general, contact your Process Software sales rep or email sales@process.com. We're using the PMDF Pop Store, Message Store, and TLS layered products on our demo system, in addition to the base email server, so we need to have these 4 license files in the PMDF table directory, and make sure their product release date fields are later than the version of PMDF we're installing. Now we're ready to start the actual upgrade. Shut down all running PMDF processes by running the PMDF shutdown command. Use the ps command to verify that all PMDF processes have exited. Run ps-ef and pipe the output to grep and search for the string PMDF. Some PMDF processes, notably IMAP server processes, may linger for quite a while if users are actively connected. You can force these processes to terminate by running PMDF shutdown force. Next, use the RPM Package Manager utility to uninstall your existing version of PMDF. Run rpm-qa to query all of the packages installed on the system, and pipe the output to grep and search for PMDF. The output should be the name of the currently installed PMDF RPM package. Run rpm-e followed by the name of the installed PMDF package to uninstall it. The uninstall process should complete without any messages and return you to the command prompt. Navigate to the directory that contains the new PMDF installation kit. It'll be in the Linux-x86/PMDF660 directory under the CD-ROM's mount point on your local file system. If you're familiar with PMDF on other platforms, you'll notice that there's just the one install kit. On Linux, layered products like TLS, Pop Store, and Message Store are integrated into the same kit. Use the RPM command line utility to install the PMDF kit. Type rpm-i and the name of the kit file on disk. Following standard RPM practice, the installation will complete silently and return you to the command prompt unless it encounters any errors. By default, PMDF is installed in the opt PMDF directory. If you install PMDF in a non-default location on your system, pass the -- prefix option to the RPM command. For example, this command will install PMDF in the user PMDF directory. Regardless of where you choose to install PMDF, the installation will correctly create the PMDF symbolic link that points to the install directory. That symlink will be what you use to access all PMDF commands and files, regardless of the install directory. After the PMDF kit has been installed, you should unmount the distribution CD-ROM with the umount command. Upgrade any existing PMDF databases by running the PMDF bin upgradealldbs.sh shell script. Examine the copy of the PMDF Tailor file we made in etc pmdf_tailor.rig side by side with the new etc pmdf tailor file the install process created. Running the diff command against both files is a quick way to see if there are any differences. If you see any changes, merge the old values into the new Tailor file. In this case, there aren't any changes. Recompile the configuration using the pmdf-cn build command. Then, run the pmdf start command. The new version of PMDF is now up and running on your system. As always, I hope you found this webinar helpful. If you have any questions about PMDF, don't hesitate to reach out to us at Process Software via our website, email, or phone.